Okay, the next equation is dx over dt plus t to the 7x to the 9 plus x over t. So this is unusual because we don't have the dy over dx. Remember, normally we have this situation, we have dy over dx plus ypx, or y times a function of x, equals y power n times a function of x. So whatever is in the numerator, the way you should read it is that whatever is in the numerator, here it's y. So you look for y times the function of the other variable equals, again, y power n times the function of the other variable. So in this particular example, x is appearing in the numerator, so x is going to play the role of the y and t is going to play the role of the x. So remember, it should be dx over dt and then a single power of this times a function of other variable, which means it's this one. So if we rewrite it like so this thing, okay, so if we write it as x times 1 over t, and then move this term on the other side, so that becomes the since x, we're looking at the powers of x, so when you move it to the other side, it would be equals negative of this. It goes away from here. So now, remember we had y power n over here. So y is, in this case, x is playing the role of y. So it's t power 7, x power 9, that's playing the role of the y. And then this other function is the q function. So if we write those, so we would say this is Bernoulli. Here, so we will now call it p of t, and this one as q of t. Normally it's p of x. I mean, this one will be p of t, and the negative t to the 7 will be q of t. So here p of t will be 1 over t, and q of t will be this negative t power 7th. And n is 9. Remember, n is the power of y, and y is x in this case. So now we are ready to apply the substitution. So once again, let's look at the more known form. So the substitution is v equals y power 1 minus n. So in this case, x is playing the role of y, so it would be v equals x power 1 minus n. V is equal to x power 1 minus n, and n is 9. So 1 minus 9 equals x power negative 8. x power negative 8. Okay, so that's the substitution. V equals x power negative 8. And the differential equation becomes, so once again, recall that in general, after this substitution, this is what it becomes. So it'll be 1 over 1 minus 9 dv over dt is playing the role of x in this case. Okay, this is also not x but t, right? Because remember, normally it's dy over dx, so whatever is in the denominator is the x part, so in this case it's t. So this is also t, and this is also t, and vp of t, q of t. Okay, let's just write the 1 over 1 minus n first, or this is fine. So now we, in the next step, we'll substitute what the p of t and q of t are. So this would become 1 over negative 8. And dv over dt, and p of t is 1 over t. So v times 1 over t. And q of t is negative t power 7. Okay. And then, you like to have the coefficient of this one as 1 so that it's in the linear form that we know. So we need to multiply everything with negative 8 so that the dv over dt has coefficient 1. So when everything gets multiplied with negative 8, this goes away, and this becomes negative 8 over t. And this becomes positive 8. And now it is in the linear form that we know. So this is linear. And we find the integrating factor. We know that the integrating factor is equal to e power this thing, the integral of this. Okay, write the integral. Dt. So that will be e power negative 8 ln t. And we will raise the negative 8 to the power here. So it'll be e power ln t power negative 8. And then the e and ln will cancel. So that will be t power negative 8. Okay. So that's the integrating factor. And then we know that the solution is normally you have y equals, so here we have v there, so v equals v equals 1 over I, so 1 over t power negative 8 Then we have this times the integral of the integrating factor, which is t power negative 8, times the right hand side, 8t7, dt plus c. Okay, so before integrating, we will simplify this. This will be 8t to the negative 1. So let's copy this. So the 8 can be pulled out. And these two will combine into t to the negative 1. And then the integral t to the negative 1 is 1 over t. The integral is ln t. So eight ln t plus c. And then the last thing is v has to be sort of replaced back by what it was. So v was t power negative 8. Okay, so we're off by a variable here. V is equal to x power 1 minus n. So x is playing the role of t is playing the role of x. So this one is fine. And okay. So x is playing the role of so okay, let me show you again. The general substitution is v is equal to y power 1 minus n. So in this case, x is playing the role of y. So it will be x power, x is playing the role of y. And so v is actually x power negative 8. So this was all v. So now I replace it with x power negative 8. And then normally we solve for y. In this case, x is the y. So x, we will solve for x. So you raise both sides to power negative 1/8. So when I raise both sides to the powers negative 1/8, so when I get the negative 1/8 here, it's just negative 8 and negative 1/8 cancels. It's just 1 over t to the 1. And then the other part is raised to power negative 1/8. Negative 1 over 8. So x is equal to 1 over t, 8 ln t plus c power negative 1/8. Oh, they bring everything on the left side and just have a c on the right side. So if we want to write it like that, then Okay, so then they don't want it like this. Instead of this, what they want is you would distribute this out. So you wouldn't do that because they're not asking you to write it as a function of x. So you will have, so when I distribute this, this will be like this. Okay, let's do it in the next step. So this one gets subtracted, minus 1 over 8 to the negative t ln 8. And then equals, on the right hand side, we have 1 over t to the negative, c over t to the negative 8. So can I write it c over t to the negative 8? Okay, now we don't want anything with the c, we just want a c on the right hand side. So you will multiply both sides with t to the negative 8. So when I multiply both sides by t to the negative 8, I get x to the negative 8, t to the negative 8. This t to the negative 8 gets cancelled out. And this one also gets cancelled out. So is equal to c. Okay, so this is what I get. X to the negative 8, t to the negative 8 minus 8 ln t is equal to c. So x to the negative 8, t to the negative 8 minus 8 ln t. Say 8 ln t is equal to c. Okay, so this should be good.